You are listening to the Horse Radio Network, part of the Equine Network family.
What a beautiful day for horses in the morning.
You are listening to the #1 horse podcast in the world. Here is your entertaining look at the horse world and the people in it.
Well, good morning, everybody. I am Glenn the Geek in Ocala, Florida.
And I'm Jamie Jennings in Norman, Oklahoma. You're listening to Horses in the Morning on the Horse Radio Network for Monday, December 9th, episode 3579, brought to you by WERM Flooring. Good morning, horse people.
I have good news and bad news for you on this Monday morning. First, the bad. It's Monday. But the good news is really good. Jamie and Glenn are here to guide you through another week filled with horse talk and a whole lot of fun. Welcome to Horses in the Morning.
Well, good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining us. I think we, have 2 weeks before Christmas coming up. Believe it or not.
You're just so ready to not work.
I am. I'm ready for my break. My wife's going to stop by today. She got a couple of the products that were up for review by State Line Tax, some Kerrits products. She's going to talk about those, and also she may have some news. Auditor Caitlin, who we think we know, is going to give us the recipe of the week, and that's an Amaretto pie. Plus your equestrian first world problems, and Jamie's been up to some stuff. We're going to get to all of that. Before we start the show, I wanted to let Auditor Taylor and her family know that we're thinking about you and the family.
Oh, Tay-Tay. Her
husband, John, posted, my wife, Taylor, is currently in the ICU in Lexington due to a very mysterious illness. After many fits and starts, she is now improving, but she is in a coma-like condition. And that was yesterday, and I don't think they know what's going on yet.
Recently married, too. Oh.
She was on our show because you remember she got married at the Kentucky Derby Museum. Mm-hmm. And we had him on the Horse Husbands episode a couple months before that. So we're thinking about you, and she's one of our most active participants in the auditor room, too. I don't know what's going on. It's very scary. On a different note, did you go see Wicked yet?
Oh, man, nobody will go with me. Anybody around here want to go with me? I want to go see it so bad.
But I have other news involving The Wizard of Oz. And I did hear Wicked's good if you like, music and movies and all that. But it's obviously, it's made $600 million. Somebody's going to see it. So.
It's supposed to be amazing, and I'm dying to go. Nobody will go.
Well, I have Wizard of Oz related news. Over the weekend, the slippers from the original Wizard of Oz were up for auction. Care to guess how much they went for?
Well, I've seen that they've been sold multiple times, and the last time was like $200,000 or something.
Yes. And I'll give you a hint. They expected the bidding to be around $3 million.
What?
Yeah. So guess for how much they went for. And I guess that this is partly because of the popularity of Wicked.
Oh yeah. I mean, if they expected $3 million, and you're telling me the story, it's got to be $4 million.
Because these were worn by the Wicked Witch of the East.
Oh, these weren't Dorothy's. Well, I guess the Wicked Witch of the East wore them, and then they got put on Dorothy.
That's correct. Yes. Higher.
How much? Just tell me.
$28 million.
What?
$28 million.
Oh my God.
It's the highest selling movie memorabilia ever.
Well, somebody did just pay $6.5 million for a banana duct tape to a wall. So I feel like people are just stupid with money now.
I agree with you. I'm not arguing. Can you believe that?
That's crazy. So I was telling Glenn, and we'll talk more about it in the post show, that my husband and I had to sit down and do a budget and all the financial organization that is required. He has a meeting with our financial planner, the person who makes sure we're doing all the right things.
Fun conversations.
Oh my God. Okay. How much do you spend on Amazon a month?
Me?
I said, he asked me that. I was like, that's rude. Like, I mean, and he was like, okay, well, how much, like, what are some other bills?
I couldn't tell you that number. We buy a lot on Amazon. I couldn't tell you that number off.
I'm like, it changes every month. Okay. Yeah. Like, it's different. What if I need something? Then I just,
we buy household stuff on it.
Yeah. I know. I just bought a really nice new knife set because it was on Black Friday deal. But like the point is, he's like, what else do you spend money on? I'm like, oh, I don't think you listed the TV subscriptions. Oh God. Okay. How much is our, what else is there? I'm like, cell phone. He's like, oh, I forgot about the cell phone. And so I'm like giving him all these things. And I was like, you know what? Never mind. I'm just going to go. But he set up a meeting with our financial advisor this morning at 9 a.m. And guess what time it is now right here? 9 a.m. And he's like, oh, so you can't go? And I was like, did you set up an appointment during the work that I've been doing for the last 15 years?
Every Monday for 15 years.
Every Monday? I was like, I'm pretty sure you're trying to hide stuff from me. So let's get it out. And we had it out. And so we'll talk about in the post show. It's fine. Everything's fine. Everything's fine.
My main credit card hacked again, too, I think at a gas station. So I had to go through all of that. But the one good thing about that is I noticed that a bunch of the subscriptions I've been meaning to cancel were on that card, and they're now coming through saying they can't process the card. And I'm like, yes, I don't have to go through the hassle of canceling them.
Yeah.
I love that. All right, Daily Whinnies. A happy birthday to my cruising buddy, Morgan Donahue, and one of our long time listeners and biggest supporters, Ellen Ferranti. Happy birthday to both of you.
I was contacted by my veterinarian, my Dr. Rasmussen. She's the equine osteopath in the area, and she's an amazing human. And she contacted me about training one of her horses, or she's talked to me about this horse that she has that has a bucking problem. Like, put the saddle on and she just breaks in half. And she's been sent to 3 trainers. It's like this whole crazy story. So I was like, you know what?
Say she's been sent to 3 hospitals.
No, because you can't get on her because she breaks in half bucking before. And it's been sent to 3 trainers, and apparently it's been ridden. But I think the first trainer probably taught her to buck. Inherently lazy horse bucks. Everybody falls off. She wins the day, kind of thing. Because she's an osteopath horse. There's nothing painful in her world. Everything is fine. So at any rate, she brought her over. And so Farm Boy and I went to work on her. It was great, but she's in my barn and I'm training her horse. And like, I was like, and we're standing in the barn, and I have a chicken that has like, it was born with this. It has like a pelvic issue. Like, it walks sideways and sometimes falls over. And it just, that's the way that
that's not funny, but that's kind of funny. Actually.
It's kind of, it's not funny, but it's kind of funny because like it came like that. Like I bought it. I bought it from the chicken auction. It was in this little cage. And then I get out of the cage and I'm like,
posted that video. Half of us would be laughing our asses off and the other half would be calling you the worst names in the world.
Oh my gosh. Well, Anna loves this chicken and she like sets it in the bowl of food and like feeds it individually. Like, this chicken is living because of Anna. She I told you Anna can't eat chicken anymore because she loves chicken. She loves this dang chicken's brown chicken. I don't know. She loves chicken. She carries it around the farm like a football. Right. So friendly little chicken came walking up all wonky in the barn aisle. And I was like, oh, it's our crippled little chicken. And she's like, oh, it's cute. And I was like, oh, hold on. Can you adjust it and fix it? And she's like, I don't know. I've never done the chickens before. I was like, well, somebody take a picture because we're doing this. So I grab Anna's little chicken and I flip it upside down, and she literally adjusted and like was worked on this little chicken for like 15 minutes. So she said we would notice things in a couple days. So we'll see how it goes. But I just want to thank Dr. Rasmussen for, I was like, clearly you know what chicken anatomy is because you eat chicken. Like everybody knows what chicken leg is.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, if you're thinking about it, you're right.
Yeah. So anyway, I'll keep you guys posted on how the osteopath technique went with the tiny crippled chicken.
You do live a life.
Hey, while you're here, vets love it when you say, hey, while you're here, can you do this? Like, hey, while you're here, I
they
bet she's
hate
never
that.
while you're here to chicken before.
They really hate that. We used to do old-timey vets. You could get away with that though, because they would work on your dogs, your cats, they would do everything when they were there.
Yeah.
You didn't have to take your animals to a small animal vet. The old-time doctor did it. He just came out and fixed everything.
Old Dr. Collins would drive up, throw a bunch of pet tabs out the window, and
I mean, if you had a problem, they would look at your cuts and brace. They would take care of you too.
Yeah.
What was that
What's wrong
TV
with your
show
back?
from Great Britain about that vet that did everything in the countryside?
Dr. Pole.
No, the old British one.
Older than Dr. Pole.
Yeah, older than Dr. Pole.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. And is Dr. Pole still on?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't have that subscription.
God, when I met him 12 years ago, he seemed old. Older than me. So anyway, worm flooring. Did you get your worm flooring done yet in the barn? Coming soon?
So it's this week, supposedly.
Okay. All
this
right.
week. I'm waiting anxiously. My whole barn is cleaned out. All the stuff is out of it. I keep having to re-blow it out because the horses walk through it. But I'm super excited. It's supposed to happen this week.
Now, do they make you wash it or scrub it with some kind of special detergent or?
No, just sweep it and blow it out.
Okay. Oh.
That was it. Get all the stuff off the floor. I sent pictures of the lip of where the tack room door goes and how tall the stall slider things are. And I don't know. Just ask me for that stuff. I sent it. And then when he gets here, I'm just going to blow it out real quick and be done.
Oh, I'll be excited to hear about that. Well, worm flooring does trailer roofs too. If you have a leaky roof, it's a very common problem in horse trailers and RVs. I see it all the time. I belong to a bunch of the RV pages on Facebook, and everybody's always asking, why is the siding on my trailer bulging out? That's because you got a leak in your roof and water's getting in everywhere. And once that happens, you're screwed. So if you have a living quarters horse trailer or regular horse trailer, doesn't matter. You can get your roof sealed from front to back, and you won't have to worry about this ever again. It reflects also back nearly 90% of the nasty UV rays, keeping your trailer or barn up to 60 degrees cooler on a blistering day. So ditch the duct tape in the buckets, invest in long-lasting peace of mind with something it's called Seal and Chill. It's applied by pros for a flawless finish, and it's only $7.50 per square foot, and that's a steal for a cooler, drier, happier trailer or RV, which means happier horses and people. Head on over to wormflooring.com to find a dealer near you. We eliminate rubber mats is what that stands for, wormflooring.com. All right, you want to call my wife, do a product review, and hear her big news?
Yes, of course. I always want to talk to your wife.
Okay, let's get her on here. Well, hello, dear. Thanks for joining us this morning. From the other room, right across the hall.
Right across the hall. I'm right here.
You had a couple of products that were provided by State Line Tech in our product reviews. And by the way, I posted some more in the auditor room. So there's 4 new products that are going to be sent out for review. And thank you to State Line Tech for coordinating all of that with the companies. We really do appreciate it. But you had 2 that were actually summer products, but for those that listen, we had a heck of a summer. A lot went on. So we didn't get around to doing these. So we're doing them now. You can buy them as gifts for Christmas, for next summer, for the person in your life. So that's the excuse I'm using for why we're doing Kerrits summer breeches.
Just stick with it.
Yes, summer long sleeve shirts in the winter.
Well, you know why? Because now's the time to buy that stuff for next summer because it's going to be discounted.
That's true.
You're doing us
Thank
a
you,
favor.
Jamie.
You're welcome.
I can tell you just had the financial meeting with your husband.
Yes.
So thinking about
Be sensible about my purchases, Glenn.
All right, Jennifer, you reviewed the Kerrits Performance Pocket Knee Patch Tights and the Kerrits Summer Ride Ice Fill Top. Let's start with the tights. Now, I happen to know these are not your first tights from Kerrits.
No, I am a dyed-in-the-wool Kerrits fan. This is, I think, about 5th or 6th pair of Kerrits. These are a more price point oriented item from Kerrits. Their price points are usually a little higher than this, so I had to adjust my expectations
in the $80 range.
$80 range, but I have a hard, firm rule that my riding breeches all have to have a pocket that's big enough to put my cell phone in because I ride by myself most of the time, not because I surf while I ride. And these do have that.
Girl. Sure. I'm with you.
I never look at Facebook while I'm riding my horse.
Well, too, also what you want to do when you have I don't know if it's me, but I like to have my phone in my pocket for 2 reasons. One, I like to blast music and I don't like wearing earbuds and stuff when I'm riding. So I like to have it, but also have it accessible and easy enough to pull in and out that I can skip songs that I don't like on Spotify. Number 2, I like to blast music when I'm riding on the trail to scare the deer so they don't jump out and terrify my horse.
Hey, I like that. The next time I'm out riding, because I went out riding yesterday with somebody in one of the trailheads out here, and she was telling me how much she saw a pair of panthers and a mama bear and all 4 cubs, and twice alligators blocked the path and they couldn't get through. I'm going to go with the blasting loud music, or maybe loud barking dog recordings.
Yeah, blast something, and then like you blast music that you like, and then you sing it at the top of your lungs. You're like, I'm coming through, dear. Here we come, Black Panther. Yeah, all that. Sorry, go ahead.
All those things, but these do have these pockets. These pockets are a little bit different. Most riding breeches that have a pocket that is cell phone appropriate, the pocket is on the thigh, on the usually outer thigh. The pocket location is at the top, where a traditional pocket like on a pair of jeans would be, but the pocket is ginormous, and it is the entire thigh of the breeches is one giant pocket. So you could put a sweater in there if you wanted to.
So it's not like in the fold of where your hip is. You can slide it down further.
Yes, when you put something heavy like a phone in it, the cell phone ends up just above your knee and on the outside, because it just slides to the bottom. But all the way from your hip to your knee is pocket.
Well, that's unique.
Yes, it's a very unusual design. It took a little getting used to, especially since my phone is giant and heavy, but it's extremely effective. And if you ride where you have to like take your gloves off, how many times have I lost a pair of gloves while riding? Because if I drop a glove while I'm riding, I'm not getting off to retrieve the you-know-what glove, because I won't get back on. So they're giant enough that you could even put winter gloves in them, even though they're not winter breeches. You could wear, long johns underneath of them. So ginormous pocket. Loved that. They are, the material is a little bit lighter weight than the more expensive Kerrits that I have. So they're probably not going to be as durable. Like after about the 4th wash, they got a little bit of pilling on the fronts. So barn work, wouldn't recommend. If you're one of those people who really wear your breeches hard and that you put them on in the morning and you do everything, you clean the barn, you empty the water buckets all day long in your breeches, probably not your best choice. But if you need a pair of really well-made and really attractive breeches that have nice pockets, these are the ones to get.
Okay, question. The only problem I have with a lot of the tights is, yes, they're going to come down when my big cell phone's in the pocket, but like even without, like I'm constantly having to like hike up tights, like they get the low crotch kind of thing, like I'm MC Hammer. No, I don't want that. Do these stay up?
I would say that these have a higher waist. So if you have a sagging problem in that regard, probably not your best choice, because the waist is a little bit higher. Just that's the trend right now. They're making all pants for women with the higher waist. What I do with mine is I fold it over once, because it's a super wide elastic waistband. So I just fold it over once and it's perfect. Yeah.
Did you just tell me that I have a sagging problem? Is that what I heard? Go ahead.
Yeah, I did say that.
And I did notice that they show these with a belt on too. So I think
they do have belt loops.
Yeah. Oh, they have belt loops. See, there you go. Problem solved.
They show these with a belt on, which is probably meant to have a belt on when they show it that way. Yeah. I know some girls don't like to wear belts, but when they show the ad with it, that means kind of.
Well, they want to show off the belt loops, and if you ride show hunters, you have to have a belt on.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, yeah, I forgot about that.
All right, get to the shirt so we can talk about the other thing.
Well, I just got to mention that it comes in multiple colors too, from extra small to 2X, and it's $80. All right, shirt.
I love Kerrits.
This is the Summer Ride Icefill long sleeve shirt.
Icefill. This is not my first Icefill long sleeve shirt. They are my favorite long sleeve sun shirt in the universe. Super, super cool. And they're not made of that heavy, nasty, plasticky polyester stuff, because a lot of us wear sun shirts that are made for anglers, for fishing, for when fishing, but they're super heavy and I don't like them at all. But these have that nice, I forget what you call it. They're like pin pricks in fabric. So it's super lightweight and it's very airy. They're a great fit. They're perfect length. They're just long enough so that if you don't want to tuck them in, you don't have to. But still long enough if you really want to, because you're wearing a belt with your brand new breeches, you can tuck them in. And I got a kind of a tannish color with a cute little horse pattern on it. Best sun shirts around, in my opinion. durable. I've had some of mine for 4 or 5 years. They last forever. They dry in about 15 seconds when you wash them. So if you're dry camping with your horse, like when you do an endurance ride, and you really don't want to stink on day 2, you can just slosh that around in the same bucket of soapy water that you washed your horse with, wring it out, and it'll dry by morning.
And I would like to point out, Glenn, that the long con to do this in the winter has paid off, because that's a $59 shirt, but on Kerrits right now they're $29. So basically they're free.
That's right.
They do come in multiple colors as well, from XS extra small to 2X. That's one nice thing about Kerrits.
They have a pocket too. They have a little pocket on the side, so you can, like, I wouldn't put my phone in there because it might fly out, but you could stuff your gloves in there or your hairnet. Things like that.
Okay. Good job. Get the Kerrits, kerrits.com. Awesome. All right, Jenn. You sent me a picture yesterday, and it's a picture of a black horse. And honest to God, do I want to tell you what I honestly thought?
Uh-oh.
I thought, oh my God, she found me my dream standard bred. Like, it's a black, fluffy, clunky headed, like, awesome animal. I was like, this
it does
is
have
exactly,
a standardbred head, doesn't it? Yeah.
I'm like, that's exact standardbred I'm looking for. Black, big, beautiful, chunky head. Like, I love all of that. And then you were like, I was like, who is that? And you're like, it's mine. I was like, damn it. So tell me about it. What happened?
What happened? Well, the text was supposed to come through, and it was supposed to say, I did a thing, and then the picture, but I screwed it up.
I thought you did a thing for me, but whatever, it's fine.
Well, the great gated horse search is over.
Yay!
Yeah, Glenn's relieved is what Glenn is.
She travels all over the East Coast. Ask her, Jamie, first where she found this horse.
Oh my God, where'd you get him?
2 towns over, not even 1 town over, about 15 minutes away.
Oh, wow.
He's actually lives right down the street from the boarding stable where we used to keep our horses when we had the little red house.
Okay, what's his name?
His registered name is Jimi Hendrix.
Oh my God, I love it.
You're going to love that.
His name is Jimi Hendrix. They call him Jimmy. And he is a Kentucky mountain saddle horse. That's a lot.
Wow. So it's like okay. Do they move like walking horses, or do they move more like Missouri Foxtrotters?
They are, if you're familiar with
Rocky Mountain
horses or crackers, it's similar. They took Tennessee walking horses and crossed them with other gaited breeds. So their gait is probably less like a Tennessee walker. Their stride isn't quite so big, and they don't have so much rock in their back. But he is 4 years old. He's just turning 4.
Oh, wow.
Little baby. So he's going to get a little bit bigger than his picture. And the picture makes him look tall because there's nothing to compare it to. But he's a little itty bitty thing. He's only about 15 hands.
Oh,
so nothing I own is going to fit. Time to go shopping.
Of course. So Jimi Hendrix, is he under saddle already, or do you have to start him yourself?
He's been beautifully started by a local gated horse trainer down here that the owners have known for many years, and he's got a really good start. He's got all the basics absolutely down pat, and there's nothing that I have to fix. Everything that's been started has been started very, very correctly. And every time I would get a little bit out of balance, because your center of balance is different when you're gaiting than it is when you're trotting or galloping. And I would get out of balance a little bit. He would go, "Whoa, what are you doing? What are you doing?" He would slow down or turn sideways.
So when you say he's got the basics, like and I'm sorry, I'm ignorant to all of this for people listening. If you have gaited horses, what do gaited horses learn to do besides like go and gait? I mean, it's not like you half pass or,
Well, imagine you're starting a future event horse or dressage horse from the get-go. From the very start, you want to teach them to move straight and balanced. And you do that at a level that is appropriate for your 3-year-old or whatever he is. And that's what he did. He's been taught to move straight and balanced in his natural gaits. What tends to happen with a lot of the gaited horses I've come across is people don't take the time to teach. They don't think that a horse has to be ridden balanced because they gait. They think they just go and they do it all by themselves. for them, balance and straightness and suppleness is just as important as it is for a horse that walk, trot, canter. And most of the horses that I tried, with very few exceptions, had that part of their training ignored. They could saunter up to a mounting block. They could lay down on a command, but they couldn't gait straight.
Yeah.
So that was really nice, because for me to teach a horse to gait straight, that's going to be all new territory for me. I can teach a horse to trot straight, but it's a little bit different when you're gaiting.
Does this
all
one
of the basics.
trot and canter?
He does trot at liberty. Like when he's out in the pasture goofing around, he'll trot with his little friends, and he'll gallop with his little friends. We discourage the trotting until they're a little bit more advanced, because you don't want to confuse their little legs.
Okay, so trotting when you're riding, and that's just like making. So I rode a Tennessee walking horse that they wanted to do dressage, and he was more natural as a trot. So I had to correct, slow him down and do a little half halt when he would go into the gate. They wanted him trotting. So I've ridden backwards from what you're doing.
Yes.
So I'm assuming the correction is this probably close to the same. It's just like a little half halt and like, okay, push on. But you have to, I do know that when you have a gaited horse, you have to really help them with that rhythm with your body.
Yes, you have to stay this particular horse, because he was started and ridden almost exclusively by a professional. If I stay exactly in the middle of him, so I'm perfectly balanced in the middle, and I ride him forward into my hand, he comes through from behind just like any other horse would. As long as I maintain that, he's cool. But as soon as if my balance gets a little bit off, he'll lose the rhythm of his gait, and then I usually have to come back to a walk and start over to get it back.
Well, he's also 4. And he's
15
4.
Hands,
He's a baby.
So yeah. And he's a little bit of a baby, but great brain cells for such a young horse. He's very level-headed.
Jamie, it's the
real
first
smart.
one that she called me after, and she's probably looked at a dozen. It's the first one that she called me after that she was so excited. All the rest were like,
Hey, Glenn, here's what I'm going to ask you to do, baby.
Yeah.
I need you to go ahead and take off your headphones and turn around, plug your ears, and go la, 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 la. Okay?
I know how much, if you're going to ask that.
I wasn't going to ask how much, but I was going to ask how within our budget did we go?
I actually came in right on budget. I'm very proud of myself.
Look at you.
Now,
You
if
can
I
tell
add
me
up all the
truth
fuel
later.
and time I
Fine.
spent looking at the other 13.
Yeah. The trips to Aiken and that kind of thing probably added up. And we want to thank Brooke, our friend Brooke, who listens to the show too. She's the one that, get this, Jamie, she's the one that bought the property here in the neighborhood we live in and said, there's one for sale. You guys should go look at it. She's the reason we live on this farm, and now she's the reason Jennifer found her horse. She's like a matchmaker.
She's your broker, your life broker.
Yes,
She's our life
exactly.
broker. I think she should start a side hustle. I really do.
She has one.
Yeah.
You're falling into it.
It's us. Running out of things to buy.
So congratulations, Jennifer.
Thank you. Now I'm going to go shop for things that will fit a 15-hand horse.
Yeah, I said, is your saddle going to fit? She said, my Wintec will. I'll just change the gullet. So there you go.
It's only just begun.
now, the girth will fit the whole way around him, so I'll get to get new one of those.
I know you've been riding a monster thoroughbred. Like, that's crazy. So will Nigel retire, or will you keep him in work?
Nigel is retired. If I get on him, it's going to be just on a random day to go for a gentle walk, because he's the sort of horse that he's not happy getting ridden occasionally and that he goes feral.
Yeah.
When you combine feral with a back that has lots and lots of arthritis in it, it's not a good combination.
So he has a lot of arthritis in his back, so that's kind of part of the. Probably both of you do. Yeah. That's why you had to get a gated
arthritis
horse.
in his neck and his back and his coffin bones. There you go.
Oh man, that sucks. So yeah, he deserves a nice little happy retirement. So good job.
He is just going to stand around and pick on Scooter.
I love it.
Scooter's this will be interesting to see how Scooter feels about the new one. That'll be interesting to see. This is going to be a fun little experiment here.
It's going to be a week.
He has
It
opinions.
is funny. You sent me that picture and I was like, oh my God, I don't need another horse right now, but that is my dream standee right there. Like,
he is so handsome.
He has a Roman
Jimmy is
nose
very
and the
handsome.
whole thing. Yeah.
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 I was like, bring on black with like just the biggest
Now, is he
head
black
you
or
could find.
brown?
He is, believe it or not, DNA tested. He is a sooty is it sooty black or smoky black? I forget which. Technically, genetically, he's black, even though he looks brown.
Huh.
It's
a big deal.
Sun bleached tips, like you pay a lot of money for that.
Yeah, exactly. But he's very nearly black, and he has the most beautiful, giant, square face, which I love on a horse.
I know. I love it. Big brain. Plenty of room for the brain.
That's right.
And I haven't seen him yet. So I haven't seen him yet either. I guess I'll see him when he shows up at the farm.
Glenn, I'll send you a picture.
Well, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. I've seen pictures of all the horses, but after a while, Jamie, they kind of all look alike. It's
I know. I don't share things with my husband this way, by the way. But Jen, I'm looking at his picture now, and you're right. He has a very mature front end, but his body is baby. You're right.
He's a baby.
He's a baby.
Yeah.
Well, take your time with him. Have fun. I'm so excited. Congratulations. And if you find one that is a standardbred that trots, send him my way.
Okay, I will.
Thank you, dear, for joining us. Appreciate it.
Bye.
Bye.
It's crazy. She sent me that, and I was like, oh, my God. I just told Chad I wasn't going to get a horse. But here's the perfect standardbred because he looks like a standardbred. He's standing correct with his giant noggin.
And that nose, that head. He has a standardbred head. He really does. We used to call him jugheads. Is that politically incorrect anymore?
I call him jughead. I mean, okay. I don't know. I mean, I'm not a standardbred person. Maybe that's offensive to a standardbred person.
Getting mad at us,
Well, call him the jughead community, and I'm sure it'll soften the blow. God.
If you have any problems, email Jennifer at horseradionetwork.com. She handles the complaints. And it's also her horse, so... or will be shortly. So, yeah, I was very excited.
When does he arrive? When does she get him?
Well, she's picking him up later in the week. We actually have company coming for the next couple of days. So, and the farm is not ready. We have some things we have to get done, like fencing and things like that. So the lady was kind enough to say, yeah, pick him up at the end of the week. She's a very nice lady. All right, let's get to our recipe of the week. It's coming up from one of our terrific auditors who you've heard on the show before. Her name is Caitlin Kennedy. And why have we heard her on the show before?
Because she's family. She adopted my baby. Like, she adopted my child. So, no, she's Taco Tuesday's owner.
Yay. So she's going to give us our recipe of the week. By the way, we do them weekly here before the holidays because everybody's thinking about food and cooking. And then we'll get back to once a month when we get back in January. And right after this word from Purina, we'll talk to Caitlin about that recipe.
Confidently address your horse's unique weight needs and help optimize their overall well-being with research-proven Purina animal nutrition feeds. Designed by passionate equine nutritionists, partner with Purina to nourish your horse to their optimal body condition. And explore weight management resources for your horse today at purinamills.com/feedfinder. And let's bring Caitlin on right now. Hi, Caitlin.
Hi, Jamie. Hi, Glenn.
My gosh, I feel like it's been forever since I've seen you, but it hasn't been that long. How long have you guys had Taco Tuesday now?
4 months.
I would ask how he's doing, but can I tell everybody about his personal, Facebook page?
Yeah, you can tell them.
So you guys follow Taco Tuesday, the Wonder Pony. Oh my God, you're going to die. Like, she posts things about her daughter and Taco all the time, and it just warms my heart. I just can't believe some of the awesome things you guys have done with that pony. When I remember him getting off the trailer in February, and he was just a mess. So I'm just so pleased with what I was able to accomplish, but just more what you and Charlie are doing with him. You're just really doing a great job.
Well, thanks. We really try hard to give him what he needs. He's such an amazing little pony. We're so in love with him.
The picture from yesterday, she was taking a nap on him. So, I guess he's quieted down some. So it's like...
Yeah. He wasn't sure when she first started riding him bareback. He would take off with her trotting and stuff, and then she'd bounce right off because his trot's so big. But yeah, here recently he's taken to it, and he's figuring out that this bareback thing isn't such a bad thing.
I think what warmed my heart the most was, how old is your son?
He is 5.
Okay. Glenn, her 5-year-old son is riding Taco.
Oh, wow.
And when he was doing the little around the world, oh my God, I just about ovulated. It was crazy.
Yeah, no, it was so funny to watch the difference with Taco from Charlie, my daughter, to my son, because with Charlie, he's forward, he moves out with his stride, and then my son gets on him and he slows down and is like very careful about how he steps to make sure that my son is okay on top of him. So it's been fun to watch.
So one of the things that we talk about in our certification with Monty is just how incredible horses are at reading intention. Okay. So Glenn, let me remind everybody, Caitlin, about the fact that when you guys got here, I put Taco in the cross ties and I was like, here's the deal, you guys. And I'm telling Caitlin, I'm like, you can't, like, he came to me with lacerations on his, like, the end of his mouth where the harsh bit had been pulled. And I was like, you can't touch his mouth. Like, you can do anything, but he just really is uncomfortable still with you touching his nose. And I turned around and Charlie is literally smooching him between the nostrils, like, I love you so much. And I'm like, what are you? Oh my God. What? Like that is how intuitive I think Taco is to the human that's around him. Me, he was like, no, you're not touching it. But this little one, yep, she can do all the things she wants to my face. And it was just, that was like probably the most incredible part of it. But then to watch him even transform more with your son. Oh my God, just breaks my heart into a million pieces in a good way.
Yeah. He's been a great pony and he's so spoiled. So spoiled.
I love it. Well, I'm glad that happened. Now, what we're actually supposed to, I don't get to catch up with you enough about Taco, I guess. So I'm like, back to the show. So you have a recipe that you came on to do, and I'll let you talk because I'm just like, blah, blah, blah. I'm so excited to talk to you.
Yeah, so Grace Ann's chocolate amaretto pie is a local recipe that was actually made by a restaurant owner here in Indiana that then has handed out the recipe. So my dad had this recipe many, many years ago that he started making, and I just love this pie. It's so good. So rich, but so good. So you're going to want a baked deep dish pie crust, and then you have to have a half a stick of unsalted butter, half a cup of unsweetened cocoa powder, two more sticks of unsalted butter at room temperature. It's a lot of sweet stuff. And then they call for a cup and a half of superfine sugar, but I have used regular sugar. In the recipe, what happens is you're mixing it all together and you want that sugar to basically dissolve into the mixture so there's no granulation. Mm-hmm. And so it's faster if you use the superfine sugar. And then you use a quarter cup of Amaretto liqueur.
Well, I mean, that booze makes everything better.
Yeah. And then you need 4 eggs at room temperature as well. So you're going to melt that half a stick of butter a quarter cup of butter into a small heavy saucepan, and you're going to take it off the heat and then stir in your cocoa powder. And after you stir in the cocoa powder, you can let it sit for a minute and cool down, because in your mixer, you're going to cream together the other 2 sticks of butter with the sugar and the amaretto.
Okay, let me just stop you, because if you just creamed 1 cup of butter with sugar and amaretto, that's literally all I need.
Butter and amaretto. You're good sugar. You're good to go.
Yep. There you go.
Yeah. This recipe is so good. It's like my favorite. And then you're going to gradually beat in your cocoa mixture from that saucepan into that amaretto sugar butter mix.
Okay, I'm still eating. Go ahead.
And then this is the most time-consuming part. You are going to take your 4 eggs and you're going to add them one at a time. And after you add 1 egg, you're going to beat it for 3 minutes before you add your next egg.
And are you on medium
one
here?
Of those.
You on medium?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is one of those like KitchenAid mixer things.
Yes. Yeah.
You wouldn't want to do this one by hand.
And you're going to no. This is an electric mixer through and through. And you're going to continue beating that mixture up until the sugar is all the way dissolved. So that's why you want to use the super refined sugar. As I said, you don't have to. I've done it with regular sugar when I've been out of the superfine.
Then it's a little crunchy and it's delicious.
Yeah. And then you just pour it into your baked pie crust and cover it and refrigerate it until it's firm, which is about 4 hours. Usually I just do it overnight.
So it's a no cook too. I like that. Yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah,
I have a question.
No cook.
Can you eat eggs without them being cooked?
Well, I mean,
she's still here.
We have chickens at home, so
I'm not dead.
We have chickens at home. We use our own homemade eggs. So
I mean, I guess if you refrigerate it, it's probably okay.
I think there's other recipes like you eat cookie dough without, and that has eggs in it, right?
And people
meringue is uncooked.
Yeah.
Yeah, right? And people do in the fancy restaurants where they whip egg white into the drink, that's a thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Gross,
well,
hey, does this taste more chocolatey or more amaretto-y?
It's very chocolatey, but you can definitely taste the amaretto in it too. They say it serves 8. I know from experience that with kids, it serves 8 because they think it tastes good and they like the sweets, and I do too. But a lot of adults will cut that in half even, so you end up with 16 slices instead of 8 slices.
Because it's so rich. Well, question.
It's a very rich pie.
You say you pour it into a deep dish pie crust. Do you would it be good to use with graham cracker crust or they have those pressed kind of flavored ones, or is it the flour one?
You could pretty much use any pie crust you want. We use the Marie Callender's deep dish ones because we found the Marie Callender's pre-made ones that you can buy in the freezer section to be the most like a homemade pie crust.
Is it Marie Callender the one who ruined Karen's Thanksgiving? Because do you remember that?
I don't know. I don't remember that.
You don't remember the one with Marie Callender's? Thanks, Marie Callender. You ruined our Thanksgiving. It was maybe because you put the pie in the oven at 9 million degrees for 4 hours. You don't remember? I'm going to find it. Now you can cut all this out. I feel stupid now because seriously.
But I will say I've had leftovers of this that I'll just put into little bowls and not use a pie crust at all. And just as good that way.
It's just there to hold
that's
together,
good too.
So.
Little fancy bowls.
Yeah. I gotta say, amaretto is one of my favorite things. Amaretto sours are my go-to. If I'm gonna order a mixed drink, it's amaretto sour. I love amaretto.
Yeah.
It's a food group. Amaretto.
Sharon. It was Sharon Weiss. Marie Callender ruined Sharon Weiss's Thanksgiving. Okay.
You feel better
I'm not
now?
crazy.
You're vindicated.
I'm going to post this link. Everybody listening knows what I'm talking about.
This looks wonderful. Thank you for sharing it. And we'll put the recipe in the show notes so you don't have to remember it all or try and write it down quick.
Awesome.
All right. We really do appreciate you stopping by again, Caitlin. And you guys, all of you, have a very Merry Christmas. I know your daughter will. I know she's going to be having a Merry Christmas.
Tell Charlie we said hi. Yeah, give Taco a cookie from us.
I will. And let me just say, she was very mad at me because she knew I was going to talk to you today, Jamie, and she's at school. She wasn't going to be able to talk to you.
Just tell her to call me anytime. I love her so much. And Lucas still asks about her. They're future spouses, so we're going to be sisters someday.
It's a long distance relationship.
We'll have to get back out there sometime soon.
Love it.
All right. Thanks a bunch. Talk to you soon. The foundation of a horse's well-being is a strong hoof. That's why Calexiquin, the new daily hoof support supplement from the makers of Cosequin, contains key ingredients such as biotin, amino acids, copper, and zinc to support hoof integrity, quality growth, and strength and durability. What sets Calexiquin apart from other hoof supplements is the inclusion of vitamin E and selenium, which provide antioxidant support and membrane stabilization. Put your best hoof forward with Calexiquin. To learn more, go to calexiquin.com. That's CALXEQUIN.com. And I saw an auditor was asking which one that was. There it is. They were looking for something for their horse's feet, and this is what it was, calexiquin.com. All right after this commercial, we're going to go to some... do we have a question for First World Problems?
We might have a few.
Listeners have problems? Okay, good. All right, well, let's get to that.
Easy, effective, and eco-friendly fly control starts with Fly Predators. Fly Predators are the organic, natural way to dramatically minimize your fly problem. Learn more about Fly Predators and other Spalding Labs fly control solutions at Spalding, SPALDING-labs.com.
Well, during the commercial, I looked up your Sharon burnt pie thing, and now I do remember this. The lady put a Marie Callender pumpkin pie in the oven, a frozen pumpkin pie, and it burnt the hell out of it.
Just burnt the absolute hell out of it.
It's completely black. I mean, the thing is completely black.
And then blamed it on the company.
Yes, blamed it on the company. She must have put it in 800 degrees. Or cooked it for 12 years. I don't know.
And Marie Callender's like, some of the comments were like, hey, thanks for the Marie Callender said, thanks for your post. We're sorry to hear that it let you down. We'd like to get in touch. And somebody else was like, Marie Callender's, please send her a larger version of the back of your box.
So CNET checked in with her a year later to see how she was doing. And she said, who knew a burnt pie could take on the world? I received so many hysterical memes and very sweet comments. I'm sure not so sweet comments too. Not only did I roast a pie, I got roasted too, but it was all in good fun. Then she goes on to say, I'm looking forward to Thanksgiving dinner with my daughters this year, their husbands and my 6 grandchildren. I have turned the cooking over to them. I won't be making anything. Good move there, Sharon. Good move.
Yeah, way to go. I just love it. Like, it's just so funny. It's like, one is like a picture, like a meme. It's like, ruin Thanksgiving in 4 words. Sharon is bringing dessert.
The comments on the original post, there are thousands of them.
It's so funny. I'm sorry. I know this is like old. This happened like 2 years ago. When anybody says Marie Callender's, that's all I can think of is Sharon burning her pie.
And we've had times I've bought the frozen Marie Callender's pies, and they're actually not bad if you cook them right. I think the cooking them right is important, probably.
Oh my God. So, but anyway, sorry. I was at such a tangent I went on, and I was like, oh my God, I feel so stupid. Like, this is stuff I think about in the middle of the night when I'm like, I can't believe I said that. But then I need vindication because it's a real thing. And yeah.
Now
and
you have
everybody listening is like, I knew about the pies.
It's time for the weekly look at your equestrian first world problems. This ought to be good.
My equestrian problem is that, like, everybody knows about the burnt pie except for like you. Okay. These are the equestrian first world problems that our listeners have and are happy to share with us because they need some sort of like therapy, letting it out. Remember, if you have an equestrian problem, it is a first world problem. That's just the way that it is with horses. So on Sundays, I go on the Auditor's Facebook page, and that's a private group. You have to be an auditor to be a part of it. And I ask people to submit, then they do that. And so, Glenn, if somebody's looking and they want to participate, what do they do?
You just go to horseradionetwork.com, scroll down in the middle of the page, click on the auditor banner, and for as little as $3 a month, you too can become an auditor like many, many, many people have done this month.
$3, that's a lot less than therapy.
That's true.
Ask me.
And we're your therapy here for free every day.
I mean, you're like, poor Jessica. Like, if this isn't therapy, I don't know what is. But it's also one of my favorite ever. I got all the way to the barn for my lesson with my change of clothes in the car. Now, Jessica lives near you, I think, in Ocala, right? Jessica Troop.
Yeah, she lives in Orlando, right down the road.
Okay. I got to the barn, all the way to the barn for my lesson with my change clothes in the car. And I went to change, and I discovered I had no pants. Mind you, I arrived in a dress from brunch. So I had to drive down the road to the tack shop to buy riding pants so I could ride in my lesson.
As a horse husband, I would not believe that whole story.
You know what though? Like I was like, I would never have access locally to a pair of pants I could like tack shop like that. Okay. She says moral here. Yeah. Moral of the story. Always check that you have riding pants. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. I would love for you to show up and hop on that sweet little pony of yours in a dress and be like, let's go, coach.
Let's go.
Oh my God. That'd be so great. All right.
Cocktail in hand.
Tara, I feel I know Jessica. Then we've got Tara, and her horse is here with me, and her horse, the Chincoteague pony named Jean, has been here in training. And I mean, I've been working for hours a day on this pony, Glenn. Hours a day. I did something over the weekend with this pony that I've never done to another pony. I posted on my Facebook page. I am still sore from this. Okay, still sore from the hours I spent with her pony this weekend. And here's her problem. We have to get up to go to the airport at 3:30 tomorrow after 4 days in Vegas for the NFR in our 7th row seats. I'm going to kill you.
I saw her posting pictures over the weekend in Vegas.
Oh my God. Like our weekends were very different. Okay. This is from my neighbor, Patty. I have to buy my 5-year-old gelding a new blanket for the winter because the other 10 blankets don't fit him anymore. Let me give you a reason why. Because he's a giant monster. This is Uncle Dick that came to be started, and he was like, I don't know, 16.3 at 3, and now he's like 19.2. Like, I mean, he's so big. He's an Irish horse. Oh my God, he's ginormous. So yes, Patty. I was gonna say she gave me a blanket for Taco Tuesday when he got here, so I was like, maybe I can give her a blanket. I don't have anything that big. Sorry. I actually thought about it. I was like, well, maybe I can give her one. No, he's too big. Rena says, I spent 5 days at a Jeff Sanders clinic playing with cows and hanging out with my friends riding fabulous cow horses. But now I have to go back to work. That horse show hangover thing's a real thing, y'all. Andrew has posted, but I feel like his problems are always related. Like it's always the same. I managed to sell 2 saddles in the last week. But then somehow I ended up with 5 more over the weekend. He is a saddle hoarder.
He is. You can just picture his house. You have to, there's a little path through the house with all the saddles stacked up.
I want to come over, Andrew. I want to come over. Kayla says, I want to go see my baby Odin at the trainers this week, but my husband is working afternoons all week. So the only way I can go to the barn is to take both kids with me after work, and I don't want to because then I can play with my horsey baby because I'll be chasing human babies. That is a real thing. I would say this is when parents introduce iPads. Carrie says those holiday sales were just so good that I had to buy 2 new saddle pads with matching bonnets and 3 new pairs of breeches for myself instead of buying Christmas presents for other people. But it's like they were free.
You have corrupted so many people in this world.
It's not corruption. It's actual. Farm Boy brought his girlfriend and I was telling him something and she was like, oh my, and he was like, oh my God, you and Christina have the same girl math. I was like, is it girl math? It's math. What's wrong with you?
I like that girl math.
Meta says, I bought new to me horse blankets for everyone this fall, and I am blessed to be able to get to the barn every day and put them on and take them off when needed. But I've already been for 3 days and I don't want to do it anymore. It's exhausting. Megan, poor Megan. This is really sad, actually. It's in the 40s and it's raining. And I don't want to have to walk out in it to retrieve my horse from the pasture, take her sheet off, and then tack her up for my lesson in my covered arena.
Half the country's mad at her right now.
I know. Let's see. I've got 2 more. I'll read this one. Julie says, my old barn coat has only 1 button left and holes in the lining. So I bought a new one. But now I can't bring myself to wear it to the barn because it's too clean. I have shoes like that. I have these awesome hiking boots that I got for my birthday that I'm like, these are going to be my barn boots. No, I can't do it. They're too nice. They don't smell like pee yet.
Yeah, I get that. Finally, I get how you feel. We all have those shoes that we say we're never going to wear to the barn, and then you get home from going someplace and you go right to the barn.
Right to the barn. Yep. And I've these have survived since October. So, I mean, it's December. It's been less than 2 months. Thank you. Allison says, and I was reading this and I stopped myself in the middle and I had a thought. And then she addressed the thought. Allison says, I wore a big red bow in my ponytail with my Christmas sweater the other day. I was feeling extra festive. Now, you see somebody with a big red bow in their ponytail.
Yeah, right.
What do you think?
Kicking. Stay away, stay away.
She
3 car lengths, please.
Yes, she says, but when I caught a glimpse of myself in the mirror, I had a moment of panic. What if people think I kick?
And the bigger the bow, the bigger the kick.
Then I remembered I'm the only crazy horse girl in my friend group, and no one else will have a clue what that even means. Am I just sounding insane in my head over here? No. Because I would think you kick too.
Yeah, no. Anybody that's a fox hunter or trail rider or anything will know that rule.
The hunter shows.
Yeah, hunter shows. Oh, yeah. I forgot about hunter shows.
I grew up in hunter shows, and what we would do is we would, even if our horse didn't kick, we would put red bows because we would keep those little bitches from coming up my butt.
That's a good idea, actually. That's pretty good.
Yeah. So now I'm like, I don't know if I trust red ribbons, but I would trust it if I saw you, Alice, and I'd think you kick. Okay, then that's it. Everybody, thank you for sharing.
Well, before we wrap up the show today, I wanted to mention something record-breaking happened right down the road from you at the Jim Norick Coliseum. The reining finals were held over the weekend there, and it was a historic event happened. Casey O'Rourke became the first woman to win the NRHA Futurity Level 4 Open, which is the highest level, like 5-star. That's the highest level. She's the first woman ever to win it. So congratulations to her. She took home the big bucks. So that is, I didn't realize that a woman had never won that before. By the way, her earnings were $415,000.
That's pocket change.
You think about that. Eventers will do the whole of Rolex for $250,000.
Yeah, I don't want to think about it. But I would also like to give a hearty congratulations to Lucas Williams Jennings, who did his first ever archery tournament. No, he didn't. Okay. But he got 4 out of 5 bullseyes on his first ever attempt in his archery tournament.
Wow.
Yeah. He was like Katniss Everdeen out there. Like, it was amazing. It was amazing. But now I've created a monster
because he walked around. Off your head yet?
So now we've got these round bale feeders that are up, and they have these little like circles handles. So now he's constantly trying to shoot my round bales. So at some point I'm going to have a vet bill because a horse ate an arrow or the tip broke off or something. Yeah. Oh, I was so proud. That's great. And let me just say, like, I was like a super good mom. So like, me with like all the baseball games and all this other stuff that they do. I just don't care. Like, I don't want to go. Like, I don't I was a super archery mom, and I brought my glasses and I could like see the distance, and I took him. It was an hour drive. I carpooled with like a bunch of other boys, got in my car. So I had this car full of stinky 11-year-olds. I drove them an hour away to the archery tournament. I cheered on the team. I drove them. Oh my God. I was such a good mom.
Please tell me it's not like, dressage where he shoots once and then waits 5 hours to shoot again.
I was trying to turn it around and make it about me, but for real, I was really pleased with it. So we had to wait like an hour for them to start, right? Okay. They were running behind. And then he shot and shot and shot and shot. And then he was done.
That's it?
He shot for 45 minutes.
And then they can go home?
It was done. Yeah, it was done.
That's a wonderful sport.
And on the way home, we're checking the scores online. I was like, Yeah, wait hours for this. And I mean, it was by the time we got to the car after he had put his bows away, they already had the scores online. I was like, this is so efficient.
You don't have to wait 5 hours to get your ribbon worth 29 cents.
Exactly. So I don't know if he
was it more or less boring than dressage?
I mean, I ride dressage, Glenn, so shut up.
Yeah, but Reese says dressage is boring. She hosts the show. So, I mean.
It was hilarious. So there is a lineup of 10 targets and there's 20 children. So 2 kids shoot at the same target and they have different color arrows. And there's like a scores that come out and stuff.
Well, that's efficient.
What was hilarious. Yeah. I mean, so it's just like, you're just like, pop, 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 with all arrows all the time. But what was awesome is like, they've got it up against the back wall of an auditorium and there's like curtains hanging down. Oh, there's some curtains with some holes in it now. God. It was flying.
Ricocheting off the walls.
Oh yeah. It was a mess. It was awesome.
Well, I'm glad he likes it though. That's cool.
Yeah, it was fun.
Are they shoot compound bows or straight bows?
Yes.
Yeah, compound bows.
Compound.
Yeah.
I'm like, you can take down the airplane with those things.
I know. Speaking of which, hang on, auditors. We're going to do a post show for you shortly. Thank you for joining us today. We'll be here all week. So,
I see what you did there with that. Speaking of,
did you like that?
I got that.
Yeah,
I got that.
Endurance tomorrow. Karen will be here, and then we have raining on Thursday. I bet I can guess who one of their guests might be. I don't know for sure.
Yeah, right.
But I can guess. And then Jamie and I will be here. Get your weird news into weirdnews@horseradionetwork.com. Thank you all.
Bye.